start the next phase of our preparation for Rosh Hashanah. Start saying Slichas. It's interesting halacha, and the Rama says that V'omdim v'ashmaris lo ma'slichas b'yom rishon shlifnei Rosh Hashanah. V'chol Rosh Hashanah she'eni b'shlish, like this year, maskilim b'yom rishon sh'lifanav. Okay, so we start always on we always start on Motzei Shabbos, and you have to have at least 4 days. So we should learn things, a few reasons for 4 days. If Otam Shekov Arba Yomim, where's the 4 day magic? In other words, why do you start on Motzei Shabbos? Because you want to have always at least 4 days. So my Talmud, what's the 4 day magic? Shekein Motzina b'Karbonos. Listen to this. We found by Karbonos Shetulin Bikur Mimum Arba Yomim Kodem HaKrova. As Allah, if you want to bring a korban, so for 4 days before the bringing of the korban, you have to check the animal, make sure it has no movement, has no blemishes. The animal must be clean. It's halacha. B'chol HaKarbonos b'Parshas Pinchas, in Parshas Pinchas, all the karbonos of all the Yom Tovim. See, we craft them all. All the Yom Tovim is craft them all, bring an olah. Makriv, the makriv is bring to the close of his bech. Rosh Hashanah ksiv, but Rosh Hashanah is different lashon. V'asisem olah. Translate simply, make yourselves an olah. L'lamed, to teach us, Rosh Hashanah yasa odem atzmo kilu makriv is atzmo. A person should feel he's being makriv himself on the mizbeach. I mean, makriv, I'm the olah. You know what the olah is? I'm the olah, me. What's an olah? An olah is an offering that's totally burned for the Baruch Shalom. What does that mean? Well, l'chein, let me finish the sentence. L'chein kovu arba yomim, and that's why they said 4 days. L'vakar kol mumi chetosov. So each one of us can check out the blemishes from our sins. V'loshuv aleim, do tshuva for them. Craft a olah. It's a very powerful idea. An olah. You know, like I mean, an olah is, you know, every year there's a shlomim. Most of the karbanos are like shlom, even the chatos, right? Most karbanos, olah is a specific korban, right? Osham and chatos and shlomim we eat. Sometimes only the kohanim can eat it. Sometimes the kohanim's family can eat it, right? Shlomim, everybody can eat. Olah, you don't need anything. It's totally burnt offering for Hashem. There's nothing for the bailim. Shlomim, as they say, why is it called shlomim? Being shalom olah, because the kohanim get. And the owners get, everybody gets a piece of like a steak. But olah, nobody gets anything. Olah is a total burnt offering. This is vasisam olah. You know who's going to be the olah for Shana is? Me and you. We have to make ourselves into the olah. It means each one of us has to really feel, not about Rosh Hashanah, each one of us has to really feel that I'm giving myself to Hashem, everything. It means there's nothing in me left. How many of us can say that? How many of us can say, I'm really giving everything to Hashem? The question we ask, obviously we're going to ask on ourselves, is am I doing the minimum of what I'm supposed to be doing? The minimum. And sometimes easy stuff. And you know, I always say, it's never going to be easier than it is here. Never going to be in your life easier than it is here. You roll out of bed, you're davening. Why is it that every minyan is not full? For Shach, somebody will listen, what about Mitzvah Mara? Not full. It's never going to get easier. You're an olah. You're giving yourself to the Baruch Shalom. Can't come to davening on time. You know, other simple things that we do, so many things do. You know, how do I treat my friends? Maybe the guy in the room next to me wants to go to sleep and I'm making too much noise. What am I doing for the Baruch Shalom? For him and my Baruch Shalom? You know, so many things. Some guys I see don't want tzitzis. Tzitzis is the easiest mitzvah you're ever going to do in your life. Easiest mitzvah. Put them on, forget about them. Every second you're wearing them is a mitzvah. And not even like feeling, you feel them a little bit when you. So you don't feel, you don't do anything. Olah. And you craft them olah. You have to make yourself, I'm ready to do, Rosh Hashanah, what you want of me. I'm ready to give you what you want. And Kol Zman, we're not ready to do that. We're nowhere like an olah. And it's an interesting idea. They learn out, asisam olah, make yourself an olah. That's our avodah. It's interesting. My son showed me yesterday a very interesting thing. The yurtzeit of my mother-in-law, their grandmother. So somebody to see him in Megillah. And the end of Megillah, some guys learned Megillah last year. Then Megillah talks about the Yisholim goes to the Chad v'Chad. You always ask the halachas of the Chad on the Chad. And you ask Sukkos on Sukkos, and Hilchos Pesach on Pesach, and Hilchos Shavuos on Shavuos. And the Marsha asks, why doesn't it say anything about Rosh Hashanah and Kippur? And my something he said. The Rosh says because Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, the Iker mitzvah is the mitzvah of tshuva, and tshuva is every day. So it's not specifically for Rosh Hashanah. How many of us are ready to do that? It's asked about shofar. So Rosh says that shofar is part of the mitzvah of tshuva. It's to wake. Where the Rambam says that the shofar is to wake us up to do tshuva. How many of us can say that we're going to enter Rosh Hashanah and I'm putting something on the plate? I'm showing the Rosh Hashanah that I really mean something. I'm taking it seriously. And I mentioned a few times that taking it seriously means I did something, I'm doing something, showing something that I'm moving in that direction. I turned around at least. And I say again, if you're not wearing tzitzit, put on tzitzis. If you don't come to davening, come to davening. If you're learning, try to learn. The Vilna Gaon, they said on his deathbed, they found his notebook where he's done in Chol Metzukis. Found his notebook for what he said Vidui for Yom Kippur. So it's for 5 minutes of Hittul Torah. Okay, for the whole year. So we could write a notebook. We could fill up a library for our Hittul Torah like that. 5 minutes every 15 minutes. But you know what? Let's try for the next few days before Rosh Hashanah an extra 2 minutes, an extra 5 minutes. Right? Let me try not to walk out 12 times in the morning Seder. Let me try this, whatever I can do. Each one of us has to ask, what can I show myself and the Rebbeinu Shalom that I really mean it? I really mean business. Lasi Samola. I got to become that Ola. I have to become that Ola. I have to make myself an Ola. Means I'm sacrificing myself to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And you know what? It's not going to be forever. But if I start this way, at least I'm on the right direction. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants to see what am I doing for him. Lasi Samola. Very, very powerful. Lasi Samola. I'm using the few days that I have left before Rosh Hashanah, during the Slichas days, to check out my mumum, my blemishes. Or you know what most of us say, I don't have any blemishes. Because everybody does this, everybody does that, everybody does this, so that's not so bad. But the truth is, everybody doesn't count. Those of us who are lucky enough, and I always say also, when I speak on Yom Kippur, and I'm saying now, I'm saying everyone say it Yom Kippur also. Yom Kippur is a very powerful day. But very few people really know what Yom Kippur is, even though most of the people fast in Eretz Yisrael. But they still don't know what Yom Kippur is. And the name they give Yom Kippur, the non-religious name is Yom HaYeshiva, bike day. If you ride bikes, there's no traffic, so you don't ride bikes anywhere. Okay, that's it. Those of us who know a little bit, Hashem says, I don't know what Hashem, you learn the sugya in the next daf about the Tinik Shanishma, we'll talk about the right time, okay. But Hashem's picked you and me, He picked us, and He put us in the yeshiva, the base medrash. So we're the ones that are responsible for Klal Yisrael. We're responsible for ourselves and the whole Klal Yisrael. So what am I doing? Am I doing something? Am I showing something to myself and the Rebbeinu Shalom that I'm moving in some direction? Am I doing one extra thing that I do now before Rosh Hashanah that I didn't do yesterday? And the one extra can be very small. It could be learning for 5 extra minutes, and it could be davening with a little more kavanah. Like okay, there's a halacha by davening. I mentioned it. There's a halacha that you're not yotzei. Look at Shulchan Aruch. You're not yotzei unless you have kavanah for the first line of Kriya Shema. What you're saying. Maybe I'll spend an extra 30 seconds when I say Kriya Shema. Shema Yisrael. What does Shema Yisrael mean? And I was okay to hear from Rav Matisyahu Solomon. Shema Yisrael. What do you mean Shema Yisrael? It's just 3 things. Shema Yisrael is 3 things. Shema is to listen, what it says. To believe what it's going to say. Listen, believe, and they say hair and their hair, and to understand. To hear, and to understand, and to believe. I think about Shema Yisrael, Hashem, Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Do I think what I'm saying? There's a halacha in the Shulchan Aruch that if you don't daven the first bracha of Shema Esrei with kavanah simply means I know what the words mean. That's all kavanah means. I know what the words mean. First bracha Shema Esrei. Take an extra 30 seconds to say Shema Esrei a little slower. Let's try to find things that I can do. And each one of us can find a little thing that I can show the Rebbeinu Shalom I really mean business. Because otherwise, going to face the Yom Din, it'll be very, very severe. And I told the guys that I saw once the Shabbos paper from Rel Apian, which is, I didn't see if it brought a rye or not. If Rel Apian said it, I assume it's correct. Very, very scary thing. And all of us, he said some of us, but I think it's all of us, we say, I was Rosh Hashanah last year, Rosh Hashanah next year, I didn't change, I got through the years, so I guess I made it. And you guys are young, I'm 3 times older than you. And if I say I made it, so I made it so many years already. It's really, it's a big mistake to say that. Because he says, really what happened to Rosh Hashanah is a din. It's always a din. And because you didn't see the din doesn't mean there wasn't a din. And it could be that your gezeir, when you were born, you were supposed to live for 94 years. and you didn't use the Rosh Hashanah properly, and the Saint says you don't deserve 94 years. I'm going to give you 82 years. And that's what we did the last Rosh Hashanah, 2 years ago Rosh Hashanah. And the next Rosh Hashanah says, no, 82 years, I'll give you 75 years. So you don't know what the din was, and it didn't have to affect you in the year. The din could be an ultimate din. Really, Rabbi says this, a little scary. So just think about it. It says in the Sedra, very interesting lashon. Hayom hazeh, today, this day, Moshe Rabbeinu is telling the people, Hashem lokecha mitzavcha lasos zachukim ha'elam es hamishpatim v'shemarta v'asisam osam b'chol levach v'chol nafshem. Hayom hazeh, today. Today is the day that Hashem is telling you to do the chukim, these mishpatim, and to keep all the mitzvahs and serve Him with all your heart and all your soul. It's the lashon. It's Rabbeinu Bechaya. Rabbeinu Bechaya. It's very question of pirush. It's good I learned it. It's very easy. It's very easy pirush to learn. It's a lot of it is the Ramban, and it's in simpler language in the Ramban. It's Rabbeinu Bechaya was one of the later Rishonim. It says, Rabbeinu Bechaya says, Hayom hazeh Hashem lokech mitzav eschem b'shnas arboim hayom. So let's do a little history. When did Moshe Rabbeinu say this? The 40th year. In other words, Omed v'hu omer hayom hazeh. When was the time you experienced the Rebbeinu Shalom? Maimed HaSinai. When was Maimed HaSinai? 40 years ago. 39 and a half years ago. We're talking about exactly right. This was in Shvat, Moshe speaking, and it happened in Siva. 39 and a half years ago, 39 3/4 years ago, we're at Maimed HaSinai. So what's the name of that? I will perish Chazal, Yechaviva Molecha. We have to make it beloved to us. That you have to feel that I just got it today from our Sinai. The same thing in Shema. Asher, I'm saying it every day. Asher anochi mitzavcha hayom. I commanded you today. Darshu, and Chazal Darshu, Rashi brings it. Yeh beinecha kechadoshim. You have to feel when you say hayom. It says. Because I'll say if the field hayom today it should be like a brand new thing. Kilo hayom shegibelnu misinai. Bein beloshin chavivim, bein beloshin chadoshim. So Chazal used two lashonos. So Rabbeinu Bechaya says chavivim, it's beloved. It should be beloved. It means I just heard it today, and it should be like brand new. So he's right. Lefisha doris cholfim. Many generations passed. And we, I obviously we seduce. It doesn't say that, but we are. Our eyes lead us astray. Look at everything that's going on. What we see is what we produce. And all the miracles and all the signs don't last forever. The Chazal commanding therefore we have to make this belief in Hashem that we stood in Har Sinai, kavua b'leiv, set in our hearts, omedis loat, to stand forever. Bizman hester upon him, at a time when Hashem is hiding from us, like today. K'moshe Isa bizman right hagolos. The entire Golos is like this. The Torah should be beloved to us, we shouldn't violate it. And they should be new in our eyes. Also, to remember the signs and the miracles. In our minds, Maimed HaSinai should be like it's renewed all the time. Rabbeinu Bechaya is unbelievable. This is Rabbeinu Bechaya who lived, say, 800 years ago. He was talking about something that happened 3,000 years before him. So, and he's saying halacha, he's saying adin, he's saying we have to make it like this. Who's he speaking to? Is he speaking to one or two people in a generation? He's writing a sefer, and the sefer is written for everybody, and we're still learning the sefer. Rabbeinu Bechaya is telling us that we could do this. We could do this. We could think to ourselves, you know what? It wasn't so long ago that my grandfather, my great-grandfather was standing at Har Sinai, and I'm connected to that. And that's why I think it's an unbelievable preparation for Rosh Hashanah. You know, Kisov was always read before Rosh Hashanah. So an unbelievable preparation for Rosh Hashanah is to think through and think about this. I could really believe that there was a Har Sinai that I'm connected to. Another interesting pasuk. Lo nosan Hashem lachem leiv ladas. This is Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to the people, right? Lo nosan Hashem lachem leiv ladas. Ve'inayim liros, v'osnayim lishmo. Hashem didn't give you the heart to understand, eyes to see, ears to hear. Ada yom hazeh, till today. What do you mean till today? I just told me in the last pasuk I just read you. You're standing at Har Sinai, and I right. So Rashi says, Ada yom hazeh. Shemati she'oso yom she'nosan Moshe Rabbeinu l'Torah livnei Levi. Right. It says that's the day he heard that. That's when the Moshe Rabbeinu gives the Sefer Torah to Bnei Levi. Ubo kol Yisrael lefanov, and all of Klal Yisrael comes to Moshe Rabbeinu complaining. Moshe, right? The thing Moshe, V'amrlo, Moshe Rabbeinu, afanu amadnu b'sina v'kibalnu z'Torah, v'nitnu lanu. It wasn't only Levi who stood at Har Sinai and received the Torah. We also got it. Why are you giving all your shevet? Yomru lanu. Yom Machar lo lachem nitna lanu. Tomorrow Levi will say we never got it. The Samach Moshe al Davar. Moshe was very happy to hear this. Yalzos lahem Omar no yisiyah lahem la'am. And now I know you're the nation, and now I know you really believe in Hashem. You're devekim. Now I know that you want to connect, you want to be close to Hashem. It's a very strange thing. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know that till today. They've been in the Midbar for 40 years. In the Midbar, all they did was learn. There was nothing else to do. There was masmidim. They learned, they did all the mitzvahs. So we know the Torah tells every time something in the Nevera, it's told. So most of the people did all the mitzvahs. So why does Moshe Rabbeinu think they're not like that? So you see an interesting phenomenon you see that Rashi is saying. Rashi said, it could be that the guy's a great guy, he does everything right, but he's missing the vekus, the chayfetz. He doesn't feel a personal connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom. So another thing, a very important message before Rosh Hashanah, with all the things we're going to do, with the tshuva, with all the extra things we do, and the extra learning, and the tzitzis and the tefillah, what I think we're going to do, it has to bring us someplace. It can't just be just a wind up doll, put on tzitzis, put on tefillah, mumble jumble and daven. Veikim Hashem. There has to be the Rebbeinu Shalom. You have to connect to the Rebbeinu Shalom. There has to be some kind of feeling, the Rebbeinu Shalom is really with me. He's really my father. He really cares about me. And that's something we have to really work on, because that's the hardest thing to do. And Moshe Rabbeinu could say about Klal Yisrael, that he wasn't sure they had that until they asked him for the Torah and say, we also want the Torah. Until he saw that, he wasn't sure. So it's a mitzvah. Great people, could be missing this little thing. And I think that's something. And I think it's a problem that we have in the world, in the religious world, that it's all everything we do is important. But ultimately, the whole reason for everything that we do is to connect to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And sometimes we don't put him in the picture. No. We were so busy making sure the thing is kosher, making sure it's filled in the right place, for the wrong reason. We have to work on ourselves to put the Rebbeinu Shalom in the picture. I think that's another avodah that we have before Rosh Hashanah. So I give you a lot of stuff to do right now before Rosh Hashanah, but myself also. I think it's something we should think about. At the end of the parasha, twice in the Torah, this thing called the Tochacha. It's a very serious rebuke. You have Parashat Bechol Kosai. The end of Bamidbar, and here towards the end of the Devarim, you have this rebuke, and I would even go further: the curses that will befall Klal Yisrael if we don't do what we're supposed to do. And most of the things already happened to Klal Yisrael. What's different between Parshas Kisov and Parshas Bechol Kosai? When you learn Bechol Kosai, at the end of the whole story, so the promise Hashem will never destroy us, Hashem will keep us, will always be His nation. There's no promise at the end of Parshas Kisov. Just ends, that's it. All the clothes, all the bad things are going to happen, and there's no promises. And the Farshim asks the question, when they say, Kisavo, in Bechukosai, when the clothes are befalling Klal Yisrael, things will befall Klal Yisrael ultimately will be redeemed. But in Kisavo, it could be individuals. And the individuals, there's no promise to the Rebbeinu Shalom that can be redeemed. Another message we have before Rosh Hashanah to think about, that even though Klal Yisrael will always be here, I might not be zocheh to be here. I may miss it. So something we should really use our time and say, Rebbeinu Shalom, I want to be part of Klal Yisrael. I want to be connected to you. It's a very rough for me every year. When I get to this time, right before Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, to say shmuzim. Because I always think to myself, you want to tell the guys, but you need it more than the guys. That's very true. But it's also true that we all need it. We all have to listen to this. We all have to hear it. We all have to make the Yom Neroim a real thing. We went through it before, and we may have not really been serious about it. There's a tremendous opportunity we have. I mentioned before that it's a tremendous bracha we start the year with the Yom Neroim. Hashem is telling us, I'm giving you a chance. I'm close to you now. I'm making it as easy as it's ever going to be. Turn over a new leaf, and the whole thing is erased. Start again. And tremendous message that we should think, we should try to digest in the few days we have before Shoshana, before Slichas. Slichas is the next step. Let me just say another word about Slichas. I always say, we say Slichas, most of us don't really understand what we're saying. We know what it's all about. And we sit in shul for 20 minutes, half hour, mumbling the words, okay, Hashem will at the end. So what's it for? So I say two things. The first thing is, I think it's a tremendous thing. I'm ready before Shoshana to do this. To spend a half hour trying to ask for forgiveness. I don't know what I'm saying. And most of the week, on Sunday we're going to say Motzei Shabbos Slichos. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to get up earlier, half an hour earlier, to say Slichos. And I think that's a tremendous thing. Show the Rebbeinu Shalom. Show the Rebbeinu Shalom. You know what, Rebbeinu Shalom? I don't know what Slichos are all about. But at least what I'm doing is I'm saying you're more important than my half hour sleep. You're more important than a half hour sleep. I'm ready to get up for you. Had an occasion, a few years ago, we had this discussion in the yeshiva. Is Slichas worth anything for the guys? We asked Rav Moshe Hirsch. Rav Moshe Hirsch is the Rosh HaYeshiva of Slobodka. And we had a nice connection with him, and he's a very down-to-earth person. And we asked him other questions like that, and he was always very, very lenient. And his reaction here was totally different. Totally different. He says, you want to cut out Slichas? You want to cut down Slichas? Like this, what? He says the most simple balabatim in the most popular shuls all over the world get up and say Slichas. And you have a yeshiva and you don't want to say Slichas? Like his reaction was like, what are you talking about? So I realized that it means something. Slichas means something. So as hard as it's going to be to say Slichas, as hard as it's going to be to do it, I'll just close with the Medrash. Slichas is based on a Medrash. I should open the Medrash. But the Medrash is based, that Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Har Sinai 3 times. So the third time, the first time Moshe Rabbeinu, there's an interesting lashon that the Gemara says, that Hanichali, Hashem says, let me go. Just let me go. I'm the Baruch, I'm just Moshe Rabbeinu. It's Hanichali. Let me go to destroy him. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, when he said Hanichali, he realized that he had some power. And the Gemara describes it as if Moshe Rabbeinu was holding onto the lapels of the Baruch Shalom's jacket. And I won't let him go. And that's what, and he says, so Hashem says to him, and at the end of the whole story, he says, okay, I'll tell you what to do, Moshe Rabbeinu. Whenever Klal Yisrael sins, go through this formula, and say the Yud Gimel Midos, V'yavar Hashem Apana V'ikra, Hashem Kel Rachel V'chanu. If you go through this formula, and you mean it, I'll forgive him. That's what Slichas is based on. From the first time that Moshe Rabbeinu asked for Slichas for the Egel, till today, that's the formula. And the formula we still use. That's what Slichas is. Slichas is, we say the Yud Gimel Milos 4 times, basically what it is. And we end up with a Vidui. The Vidui doesn't mean Hashem doesn't just mean that. The Vidui means, and it's something very important, Tshuva doesn't start until I'm ready to say that I messed up. I messed up. It was me. It wasn't my mother, and it wasn't my Rebbe, and I wasn't my roommate, and I wasn't my friend. Right? It's my Rebbe's fault. He didn't treat me right. You know what my mother said to me? My roommate didn't love me, right? Once I blame somebody else, there's no vidui. Vidui means I did it. Hashem lebegadna. I'm the one who's guilty. But God knew I'm the one who's the traitor. I'm the traitor. I messed up. That's the next message before Hashem. Remember that we stand before Hashem. Let's not blame anybody but ourselves. It's I always say you have a lot of excuses, but are there any reasons? Okay, let's not look for the excuses. The only excuse is, Rebbeinu Shalom, I messed up. I could be a lot better. I could have done better. Help me get to the next step. I've seen Baruch Hashem throughout the years that the few Bachar who take it a little more seriously really can change them. I'll mention one other thing before it's time to another minute. The main avodah we're going to have on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, believe it or not, no karbanos. Rosh Hashanah we have shofar. It's true. Kippur we don't have shofar. The main avodah is going to be right in this room, speaking to the Rebbeinu Shalom, speaking the phrases to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and to spend a few minutes before Rosh Hashanah just to understand a little bit what I'm saying, and trying to say, I'm going to try to connect to you. I'm going to try to really feel you. But most of our time is going to be right in this room. And if I could use the time in this room without wandering in and out, say maybe I'll take it a little seriously. It's very important. We have very good Bali Tefillah, Baruch Hashem. And I told you, I say many times also, and I realize this, people say I want to be inspired. And I think the Bali Tefillah are inspiring. But inspiration is not automatic. Inspiration, only people get inspired if you really want to be inspired. You're waiting something to inspire you, it will only happen if you want to be inspired. If you walk into Rosh Hashanah and say, I really want to get this right, you'll see you'll be inspired. You'll say, well, I'll try to inspire me. You'll never be inspired. Hashem should give us the kavach in the next week and 4 days that we have to prepare for this Yom HaDin. He should give us the kavach to do what we have to do, check out our mumim, make myself an ola, realize that He's with us, that He loves us, that He cares about us, and make those steps to that direction. And if we do, guaranteed, Hashem will help us way beyond what we thought. We'll have a kasivah to be called.